It's as strong as a spell. I'll never tell. Yeah, I like you, that's for sure.
Hi guys, welcome back to Exmo Lex. So just a few days from today, it will be the 4th anniversary of the day I questioned the church for the very first time. So, happy anniversary. October 3rd of 2018 was an incredibly emotional day for me. Today I want to talk about all of the ex-Mormon things I've done since then and how it felt at the time, how it felt when I was Mormon, versus how it feels now. And of course, most of these things are just like normal things that normal people do, but so they're not exclusively ex-Mormon at all. But when you're a Mormon for your whole life, these things seem so out of reach, even if they're commonplace for most people. First up, coffee. My journey with coffee is a funny one for me to look back on. The first time I ever tried coffee was about a month after I left the church, and I think that it was a peppermint mocha. I was not a fan, and I pretty much just steered clear of coffee for the next couple of years. I thought, you know, that one is just not my thing. But then I had the idea to order a whole bunch of different kinds of coffee to my house and try them all side by side. And I did a video right here, so I will leave the link for that in the description. That was actually super fun, and it was the beginning of me enjoying a wonderful, cozy, happy treat that I now get several times a week. Basically, with that first large coffee order that I did, I just ordered like 5 or 6 different drinks, and I did it all on an app so I could just see what they all were, see what was in them, and add different like flavors or toppings or like whatever. And in the end, that whole thing really helped me figure out what I prefer, the types of coffee that I like, what I like to add, the flavors that make it taste the best to me. Then the ex-Mormon owned business Apostate Coffee got in contact with me and helped me learn how to make a coffee at home. And oh boy, that was a game changer. I have a couple videos on that, again, links in the description. And speaking of, this video is sponsored by Apostate Coffee. So if you love coffee or you're just trying to learn more about it and you want to support this channel as well as an Exmo owned business, give Apostate Coffee a try. I will leave a link to their website in the description, and if you use the code EXMOLEX, you can get 10% off. Starting to make coffee at home also really helped me to learn what exactly I like, how much of everything I like to add, and gave me something new to try. So I went from my entire childhood and my young adulthood thinking that coffee was literally evil, thinking that coffee was on the same level as alcohol, which was on the same level as drugs, to being a regular coffee drinker and owning 2 coffee machines. And it's like a little treat, like a comfort thing. I also noticed that within the last year, I went from drinking coffee with a lot of creamer to now just drinking it with a more normal amount. I mean, I still have some creamer. I still enjoy happiness, but a lot less creamer. And do I feel like a sinner? Yeah, just kidding. No, of course not. I feel very content. Next, tattoos and piercings. I gotta tell you the truth, when I first figured out that the church wasn't true, pretty soon I got really excited about the possibility of having tattoos and piercings. They were something that I always thought was so cool. And now there was nothing stopping me from living my cool girl dreams. 4 years, 5 tattoos, and 6 piercings later, and I regret nothing. I love each and every one I've gotten. They are all good memories for me. They make me so happy. And it's one of those things that, unlike coffee, I always secretly envied people for having when I was a Mormon. I would always say stuff like, you wouldn't put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari. But deep inside, I said that shit because I was jealous. I'm so happy that I'm now free to make my own choices. Which leads me to Immodest Clothing. There is something so liberating about being in control of your own body. Dressing how you want. No rules, no guidelines, no shame. Just wearing what feels good and right to me. And let me tell you, I don't know how Mormons that live in places like Arizona can handle it. I live in Idaho and it still gets into the hundreds here during the summer. And I spend my summers living my best life in tank tops and shorts. I don't know how I ever managed any other way. I can't tell you how happy I am that those days are over. I feel like a different person. And I also started to realize pretty recently actually that not ever having control over what I wore really stunted my personal style. I always just found whatever modest clothing I could that I actually liked a little bit and bought that. So my closet was full of a lot of really mismatched stuff. So now I've really been trying to figure out which styles make me feel most like myself, which kinds of clothes I really like that aren't just modest, and it's been a lot of fun. Next, I want to talk about alcohol. And here's the thing with alcohol. When I first left the church, I didn't want to touch it. And then I tried a little, and then I drank a little more and a little more. And for a while there, I drank quite a lot, like almost every weekend. And after a while, the novelty wore off. And I do see why a lot of people choose not to drink at all. It's no health drink. I drink probably once or twice a month at this point, and when I do, it's not very much. It's definitely a use in moderation kind of thing, in my opinion, but it's nice to have the option to choose to do that if you want to. Because again, there's nothing quite like being able to choose for yourself what you do with your body. Those are kind of like all the major things you can suddenly do after you leave the church, right? Oh wait, one more. Media. Oh my God. I was the prudiest of prudes when it came to appropriate media. If you've been around my channel a while, you probably know that. Absolutely no rated R movies in my house. I edited the swear words out of all the songs on my iPod. I Sharpied over cleavage on board games. Genuinely embarrassing shit. If I was even a little bit concerned that a song might not have an appropriate message, I would not listen to it. Like AC/DC was basically satanic. I am so happy that I can finally just enjoy good music that I like. I love AC/DC. And now that I can watch rated R movies, I can actually watch scary Halloween movies that aren't made for children. And I can exist in peace without feeling like I have to be afraid of seeing titties. At the end of the day, here is the thing about all of this stuff. It's okay to like and want to get tattoos. And it's also okay to decide that tattoos aren't your thing. It's okay to drink alcohol if you want to, and it's also okay to decide that you would rather not. It's your body. All of these things are personal choices, and as long as it's not hurting anybody else, it's okay to choose to partake or not partake. All in all, it's just really freeing to be able to make these choices for yourself without the threat of hell or the reward of heaven hanging over your head, or even the shame and stigma that's attached to all of these things when you're a member of the church. So let's hear it in the comments. What's your favorite against the rules thing that you've started doing since you left the church? And is there anything that you tried and decided just wasn't for you? Let me know in the comments. And huge thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. Extra special thank you to Craig Call, Doug Davis, Megan Haycock, Noble Monster Comics, Richard Kaner, Tans, and the Exmo Candle Company for supporting at the Demon tier on my Patreon. Couldn't do it without you guys. If you would like to support the channel, there are links to do so in the description below, as well as a link to Apostate Coffee. Remember to use the code exmolex for 10% off at checkout. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Strong as a spell, I'll never tell. Yeah, I like you, that's for sure. Never have to close the door. Been a long time, a year before.